And there it is. It is a done deal. Arsenal have officially signed. And that Arsenal were really impressed by what I was saying before, that he only wanted to join Arsenal. And he had subsequent conversations with the manager, Mikel Arteta, and the sporting director, Edu.
Goal goes 2-1. Before that, there was a little bit of caginess, something I didn't really like first half, I must say. But what happened here second half in terms of the atmosphere and what we saw on the pitch, they're going to need that, I think, from now to the end of the season if they're going to wrestle that title back.
Given where Manchester City were, is it actually a little bit sad to see them like this, particularly in that second half?
Yeah, of course it is. The drop-off has been massive. I think the lack of control, the lack of structure. Thierry mentioned it briefly there about the goals they're conceding. It was 3 against Feyenoord after being 3-0 up. Get beat 4-1 at Sporting. You go to PSG, get 4 there and fight. It's just, I can't believe my eyes when I'm talking about defensive work. And people can talk about injuries. The team today was good enough to get a result, and the balance between the defence and the midfield and up front is not there at this moment in time.
But that's what I'm saying. As soon as the game becomes intense, Man City can't cope, and that's why I was so surprised Arsenal were like that for the first hour. As soon as the game got faster, Man City can't cope with it.
Welcome back, Matchday Live on the road. Arsenal lead Manchester City by a 1-0 here at the Emirates. At half-time, we had to wait just 103 seconds for the breakthrough. Martin Ødegaard's first goal in his career, and what a way it came about.
Yeah, it was. You know, I'm sure we'll go through it, but like, it was good closing down. I'd say poor choice maybe from City, the way they're trying to play out, but Arsenal are close. And I think you've seen there with Havertz, you know, maybe a lack of confidence in squaring it, because I'm looking to pass that. I'm looking to score myself, I should say.
Yeah, a couple of options there for John Stones. He decides to go inside into the danger zone, really. Declan Rice there with a lovely first-time pass. I think Havertz, as you say, right, he's looking to pass that. Yeah. Of course, you know, make it easier, but, you know, a cold-blooded striker would be shooting there. Listen, he made the right choice in the end, however.
Righty, look at this. This goes back to the 2-2.
Oh, that's what's happening now. That's what they've started, you know, the ball in the head. You know, this is it. But you know what, like I was saying to Joe, as long as they can shake hands at the end of the game, bam, see you the next game.
Now, that was relevant to the point you were making before the game about Arsenal getting right in Manchester City faces.
Oh, they've pressed so well. And I think they would have waited to see how Manchester City started, and they just looked like they were second-guessing themselves. John Stones on the ball, looking for options, looking to free Kovacic up. And then when Arsenal have pressed, when they've smelt blood, they've just cut the angles down and made it so difficult to play out. It's a difficult ball for Akanji to receive. And the moment he fumbles it, Trossard reads it. That's so sharp from Declan Rice.
Brilliant.
Reading that ricochet, and a big moment for Martin Ødegaard. He said he wanted those moments, didn't he? Right, there's his moment.
Yeah, he's done it. You know, just being up there, but I think the closing down's been great. Whatever people say about Kai, he's made the right decision there for us. He's not an out-and-out striker. He's doing a good job for us. And I think that getting us 1-0 up is what we needed, just to get in the game and settle down.
Now, he mentions Kai Havertz from a very similar situation. How did he not make this 2-0?
Well, I'm referring to that first goal, Steve, because he did great for the first goal, don't get me wrong, but I can guarantee you this one thing. He was looking for players in this situation as well. Arsenal do great. He's desperate to be able to pass this. He's not a cold-blooded killer, I'm telling you. Ian Wright would never have, you know, passed the first one. This is great closing down, and we'll move on to it in a minute, Joe, because you think he could bounce that off.
I just think it's so intelligent. And the lack of options that City have got. Ortega plays that pass. The only way a straight pass is a good option is if you've got a bounce pass option. He hasn't. He's only got to rip it out to Núñez. Declan Rice reads it so well and allows him to slide, tackle, press, rather than having to just shuffle from behind and see which option he's going to take.
It's such a big moment in the game, that miss. But as I say, I think for the first goal, he's so happy he's passing it. I think he's wanting to pass it all the time. I just don't think he's got that killer instinct in him. The other thing on that closing down I thought was great was the angle from Declan Rice. If he closes down on the other side and wins the tackle, he knocks it out to the right.
Yeah.
But when he goes on the blind side of him, he knocks it into the middle where the danger zone is. Just have a look at this, the angle from Declan Rice here. If he comes this side, camera side, then he can only win the ball and pass it out to the right back. But that actually knocks it into the danger zone.
He's so intelligent. He reads Kovacic has only got one option. Because I think it's Trossard, no, it's Ødegaard who he's covering Ortega. And it just means that he can go blindside and gamble. When you're 1-0 up, you can afford to gamble. If he does actually put his foot on the ball and turn, so what? He's got options back there.
Now, Joe, at the other end, what about David Raya? And one save in particular.
Do you know what? This is excellent. This is excellent. It's so hard to do. And he earned that little bit. That you make that save, you think, oh, I've got a whole hand on this. I need someone. And then it looks like Haaland's got that little skip off the bar. But he's been excellent in this half, making such important. And he's had very little to do. He's had 3 or 4 huge moments. That is such a sharp save, so strong.
And he got a touch on this one as well, Whitey, from Guardiola.
Yeah, he did. You know, but like I say, that's a great save. Joe,
honestly,
you know where he's got himself down there. He's
so agile because his weight goes to his left-hand side. Tiny little deflection. Oh man! But he's just strong. He's in a great mode at the moment. His balance. He's forward. He's making big saves for his team. He's absolutely just on the edge. He's loving it.
Arsenal in front thanks to their lightning start. The goal after 103 seconds. Thierry, is this a case of Manchester City falling right into the Arsenal trap?
Yeah, you know Arsenal always try to put pressure against any team at home, and here it's a bad first touch from Akanji, but what I like from Trossard, he doesn't commit. He stops a yard away to make sure he was going to see if he can stop that ball, and Kai Havertz, I think we talked about it off air, lack of confidence, looked for a better option than what maybe he felt.
Is he actually in a better position to score than Ødegaard?
Yeah, but when you're lacking confidence, maybe the other guy is a better option. And by the way, when you score, you're right, so he was right. But Leandro Trossard does ever so well once again to stop at the right time. Kai Havertz feeds Martin Ødegaard, and obviously 1-0. But I like the way Arsenal did start that game. Then I think we did retreat a bit too much after that.
They had the chance to really put City away. 3 of Arsenal's shots have come from City errors. It feels unlike them, Jamie.
Yes,
or perhaps not of late.
Arsenal are the best. We saw this a lot last season at winning the ball in these situations. Declan Rice's pass on the first goal was fantastic. But I see another goalkeeper play that pass. I see this every weekend in the Premier League. The reason you're in goal is because you can't pass that well. So these straight passes, Declan Rice is as good as anyone there. But that has to be the game. He has to score that.
Is that evidence of why he chose to pass in the first chance?
Yeah, but that's a lack of confidence, but also a lack of quality. Almost every centre-forward in the Premier League would look at a situation like that and fancy themselves to score.
It means that City are still in it while there's only 1 goal, Micah. Do Arsenal have David Raya to thank her?
Yeah, they do. Really good set piece from Mamouche in Coleman there, but it was a really good save from Raya. Guardiola with a header. You just see on this angle here, gets really good contact, but the reaction from the goalkeeper has been outstanding. See it here, there. Lovely.
What about Haaland's reaction?
I mean, maybe he could have readjusted himself, but I think just because in the moment he might think it's going over. I mean, he's trying to stay within the goal, but gets a little bit tangled. And then Savinha at the back post, Arsenal in that low block, just gets a shot off there, and he just readjusts himself. You see it better on this angle here. He's going one way, takes a little deflection, and manages to readjust himself. Really good save.
I think Arsenal just got to be a little bit careful. I said before the game, you don't want this to be a slow game. I know they're in front and they've had a great chance with Havertz, but Manchester City are controlling this game and it's at their tempo. That anything could happen in the box, as we've just seen there. I think they've got to try and make this an energetic game and make it more difficult for Manchester City to bring the ball to the edge of their own box.
Feels like City are